welcome back everybody to YouTube channel BTCTV, and finally I'm happy to present you Roger Ver here at our YouTube channel. Thanks for coming to us. And first question, we are right now making this video at Malta Blockchain Summit. Why you decided to come to Malta?
Don't know. They invited me and I agreed, so here I am because it's a wonderful event with a lot of wonderful people. So.
But how do you like so far?
It's great. This is my second time to Malta, so I like it here a lot.
I see. Roger, you had I read your history and your life is amazing, what you started and where you right now at this moment. And my question is the next one: when you first time heard about blockchain, about Bitcoin, when it was? Do you remember what year approximately?
So I think I kind of first heard about it, I would say 1999.
1999.
And people say, what do you mean 1999?
Yes.
I'll say because I was reading these science fiction books,
okay.
And another book called Future Imperfect by David Friedman, the son of Milton Friedman, and he was talking about how people could potentially practice law on the internet without a law degree, and using digital signatures you could prove you're dealing with the same person over and over again, even without knowing the real world identity of that person. And he was talking about how all that's missing in order to enable this is some sort of anonymous cyber e-cash to use on the internet. And I thought, wow, this is really neat. It's going to enable all sorts of interesting commerce on the internet. But there was no anonymous cyber e-cash at that point. And then Bitcoin came along a decade later. When I finally heard about it, I was like, oh, the cyber e-cash I read about in these science fiction books as a kid, it's finally here. It's finally created, and it's called Bitcoin. So I knew I wanted to spend all my time and effort and money promoting Bitcoin.
I see. And the next stage you did with Bitcoin Cash, right? I mean, you jumped into Bitcoin, you went with Bitcoin.com.
For me, I see it as the same stage. I think I'm promoting the same version of Bitcoin I started back in 2011. It just has a different name now.
I see. But why, for the next question will be, why you decided to make Bitcoin Cash, right? You solved some problems with Bitcoin, or why you did this?
So actually, I didn't make Bitcoin Cash any more than I made Bitcoin.
Right.
And so I got really excited about Bitcoin in 2011 because it enabled fast, cheap, reliable payments for the entire world. Mm-hmm. Bitcoin, BTC, no longer enables that. Bitcoin Cash still enables fast, cheap, reliable payments for the entire world. So for me, Bitcoin Cash is the exact same version of Bitcoin I started promoting back in 2011. But I didn't make Bitcoin back in 2011, and I didn't make Bitcoin Cash in whatever the fork date was, 2017, I guess.
I see. But going back right now, right, do you regret or not that maybe you didn't invest so much funds in Bitcoin? Maybe right now when you're looking back, maybe you're thinking, hey, maybe I should invest more in Bitcoin.
Everybody wishes they bought more Bitcoin early on, but more recently I think everyone's going to wish that they didn't invest more money in Bitcoin Cash, because Bitcoin Cash has usefulness with its fast, cheap, reliable payments. The BTC network's not very useful for payments. It's only a bunch of speculators at this point.
I see. Now we are right now, it's the end of the May. Everybody's saying that the winter season in the blockchain industry, in the crypto space is over. We had this for more than 1 year. From your point of view, do you think that bear market is over or not? Or it's hard to say?
We'll know later on. It's hard to say. So, but I think the long-term price is just a side effect of the adoption in commerce. And so the coins that are getting the most traction and adoption in actual commerce are the ones that will perform the best in terms of price in the long term. And that's why I'm so bullish on Bitcoin Cash, because there's lots of commerce starting to happen on top of it.
I see. So from your point of view, for example, if big or small investor, to move more funds to Bitcoin Cash rather than to Bitcoin?
I think my advice is for investors is to hold a balanced portfolio, so hold a nice balance of different cryptocurrencies. But myself personally, I'm the most heavy on Bitcoin Cash because I think it has the most potential upside because it's getting the most traction in commerce.
I see. What's next you want to do with blockchain, with Bitcoin? Do you have some vision of where you want to be in 10 years, for example?
I want to build peer-to-peer permissionless cash for the world, and we're trying to build all the infrastructure to do that.
I see. Now also everybody's speaking about regulations, right? Because everybody's waiting when will be good regulations that will be mass adoption. In your opinion, when it will be happening?
I'd like to see people build systems that are immune to small groups trying to boss everybody around and tell them what they can or can't do with their own money. So I'm not really a fan of, I'm a really big fan of rules. I'm not a fan of rulers. And right now we have very small groups of people making all sorts of arbitrary rules and threatening other people with violence if they don't obey those rules. And I look forward to seeing blockchains and cryptocurrencies disempowering people that want to control other people with threats of violence. And if you think about it, every single law is ultimately a death threat. If you don't obey the law, and if you don't obey it long enough, they'll try and send you to jail. And if you resist going to jail, they'll ultimately shoot you over it. So I'm not a fan of that sort of thing.
And from your history of life, you know more than anybody that what is it to
Luckily, they didn't kill me over it yet.
Luckily that you are here standing and what you are doing. And also, I would love to ask, like, everybody knows you that you are man behind of Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, right? You are like icon. But what usually you do in daily life, right? What is daily life normal for, like, because you are human, right?
Yeah.
So how it is looking?
So my daily life is usually spent mainly in front of the computer answering emails. And that's what I probably spend more time each day doing than just about anything else. So.
But still, do you have some time, for example, like private life, like reading books, sporting activities, something like that?
Yeah, I wish I had more time for reading books still. Before Bitcoin, I used to love reading books, and I was reading all the time. And so my only other hobby outside of Bitcoin now, because I need to stay healthy, I try and do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu whenever I have a chance to do that. And so that's my hobby outside of Bitcoin. And in fact, tomorrow morning here in Malta, I plan to go to the dojo here and train here.
I see, nice. And also, I read that beside of United States citizenship, you own St. Vincent, right?
St. Kitts and Nevis, yeah.
Yes, sorry.
And I no longer have U.S. citizenship. I'm not a U.S.
So
American
you,
anymore.
why decided one day to get rid of that United States citizenship?
So for business
point of view, right?
America is one of the worst citizenships in the entire world to have for business.
I see.
And just philosophically, like, America is busy starting wars and occupying all sorts of countries and has military bases in who knows how many countries around the world. And, like, I'm not interested in participating in any of that at all. I want nothing to do with that. So I love the American people. I don't like the American government.
I see. And before we will finish our interview, how about that maybe we'll make a small challenge with our subscribers? They will ask interesting question below this video. And in a couple of weeks we will announce a winner who will get maybe, for example, like your T-shirt
Gladly.
with symbol from.
We can do it for the top 3 comments. You send us the address and we'll mail these. Tell us what size they need, and we'll mail these same exact greatbitcoin.com polo shirts.
Sounds good. So don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel BTCTV. Start asking interesting questions below this video, and you will get the same T-shirts like Lord Jover has. And thanks again for what you are doing and for coming to us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.